So thank you so much
Mhm.
for joining my chit chat, my reality chat, and podcast. And the purpose of this is just to like enlighten people, and because there are some people like maybe seeking questions, people trying
Mhm.
to find answers to some questions. And I've had a couple of friends as well chatting me up and asking about maybe like, how is life in Ireland in terms of studying. And I was like, okay, I don't know much because I'm not a student. So, but bringing you to the
Mm.
part, share your experience will help some of them to like find answer to whatever they are taking. So thank you so much, Sister Dura, for me for having you on the Express TV platform.
Thank you for having me.
So to start with, I know you're a graduate.
Yes.
To start with, how do you find your coming to Ireland? How do you find
Coming to Ireland for me was pretty easy. Um, Honestly, if you ask so many people that are in Ireland to study, they'll tell you maybe Ireland was their last choice or something because maybe another place didn't work out. And the reason why many people are here now, many people are coming here is because it's quite straightforward and fast,
okay?
to process a study visa and everything because you don't really have to do any interview. You just get an admission, get a letter from the school, and
Oh,
apply
just
for a study visa. Basically, apply for a study visa online. You fill the online application form online, print it out, sign it, and then there's a checklist of documents that you need to submit, and then you just get the documents, submit them at the nearest embassy, and in a matter of weeks you get a decision. So it was pretty easy because I spent a long time trying to go somewhere else, and when it didn't work out, this was actually um between mid-September and December.
okay.
I made the decision to come to Ireland. So by mid September, the place I wanted to go to before didn't work out, and then I started pursuing masters here, pursuing Ireland basically, and it was pretty fast for me because I used an agent. So I just spoke to the agent. They just told me what to do. They just gave me all the documents I needed to submit to them. I
Yeah,
submitted all my documents, my CV, um my previous
yeah,
degree certificate, my bachelor's degree certificate, and so many other things. Sent everything, and they
yeah.
basically did the application for
Oh,
me. Yeah, and I got the admission.
oh,
So, but even without an agent, it's still pretty straightforward, honestly. It's
yeah,
still pretty straightforward. Just go to the school's website, find out what the admission process is like, and just do it. It's really not difficult. It depends. There are some schools that are a bit difficult to get, like the universities in Ireland, like
yeah.
University College Dublin. I know I hear that they do an interview or something, for
Well,
their students. Yeah, I know if I have a friend who had to do an interview to
okay.
get to a certain to get her admission,
Yeah.
but the colleges are more flexible, and they're easier to get into actually. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was pretty fast, honestly. It was really fast. Yeah.
And then do you have to pay tuition fee before coming traveling down, or how does it work?
Yes, so yeah, it depends. You definitely have to pay something, you know.
Oh,
It must not be the full tuition fee. Sometimes you have to pay the full one. Sometimes there are some schools that allow you to pay at least half of
yeah.
the tuition fee, and then you can keep paying in bits before a certain period of time to complete it.
Oh,
So, but for me, I just paid the full tuition fee to
okay.
secure my admission.
Admission. Okay.
And yeah, because you need to pay the minimum required amount. At least on the website, on the immigration website, the Irish immigration website, it says that you should pay at least 6,000 euros. um but sometimes you might have to pay a bit more. It depends on the school, honestly. It depends on the school, because even if immigration says 6,000, you might have to pay a little more depending on the school before the school gives you an actual document that can be recognized by the immigration office. So,
Okay.
so yeah, you have to pay something.
Wow. Yeah. It's great to hear that, the process is not that difficult, because some people will be thinking
Mhm.
that, oh, to apply to Ireland, maybe, most especially their schools, it can be challenging and, the process can be really hard because,
Mm.
compared to other country. But I'm glad to hear that, right? It's not that difficult. And then, I know before you come into Ireland, you have some expectation that, okay, I'm going to Ireland. This is what I expect in that country. How is the country going to be like? Do you have any expectation for Ireland?
Mhm. So you know what? First of all, like I've been to Ireland before, but as a
Okay.
tourist. I
Okay.
just came to visit a friend who was doing masters here five
Okay.
years ago.
Okay.
So I mean, when I decided to come to Ireland,
Yeah.
I already knew that I already knew certain things about about the place. But I didn't know everything. Obviously, I had to ask some. I had to contact people that were already here and that were
Okay.
in my school. Thankfully, my school, National College of Ireland, they they provide a lot of information about school and city life as well. And then they provide a forum for new students that are coming in so that you can have a group and talk to people that are also like you, that are coming to Ireland and coming to the school. So that actually really helped me because I joined the international group for my batch then, and then I got to speak with some people to ask them questions. So when I ask them questions, like can I work while I'm schooling? Can I how's the accommodation there and everything? I already knew what to expect, you know.
Okay.
So because I spoke to several people before coming here,
Yeah.
I already knew what to expect. I was not even surprised by
Okay.
anything. I
That
wasn't
what
surprised by
you
anything.
Okay, okay. At least it's good that you prepare because some people might be thinking, oh, at least that helps you because you've been to the country, so you know what to expect. Because some people might be thinking, oh, I've not been to this country, I don't know how it's going to be like. What do I need to prepare? Blah blah blah. And then some people say, okay, when you're traveling to abroad or to a country you don't know, you have to bring certain food, you have to bring
Mhm.
garis, you have to bring all these things, African food stuff. Were you
Oh
fully packed?
yeah. I should mention. So I did my bachelor's degree in Hungary. So and I always went home every summer. So I always carried food stuff. So I already knew what I was going to take. I knew
Hey,
what I was going to take. In fact, honestly speaking, my expectations were well, how will I put it? Coming How do I put it, were exceeded. My expectations were exceeded because um I mean, I just thought everything would be really expensive, like maybe Nigerian food stuff, African food stuff. So I brought a lot of stuff. I brought a lot of stuff to keep me going for a while before I settle in and everything. And when I came here and I saw so many African stores, I was like, oh, that's not bad. Then I could just buy some things here. It's not everything, but I could just buy a few things that I would like to eat from time to time. So yeah, just wanted to mention that.
Okay, good to hear that. And then looking at, I know you had your bachelor degree in Hungary, as you said, but I knew you had education background in Nigeria as well.
Yep.
Yeah. So comparing education in Highland, Nigeria, what's your perception? What's your view on it?
Hmm. Uh, how do I compare it now? Because if I want to
Yeah.
compare secondary school with a master's,
It's a big one.
It's a bit difficult because I in Ireland, doing a master's degree, the experience you would have doing a master's degree is a bit even it's a bit different from the experience you're going to have doing a postgraduate diploma. The expectations for postgraduate diploma
Are
students are not
different
as high as master students.
masters,
Yeah,
yeah.
the expectations are not that high.
Mhm.
And even then doing like a bachelor's degree and everything. But generally speaking, I would say that education here has a more practical approach. It has a more practical approach in the sense that you're not just reading everything in a book, you're not just reading things on paper, you're actually using softwares, you're you're doing it by yourself,
Yeah,
as
you're
opposed to
experimenting.
just knowing that, oh, this is the SAP software is used for this and that. You can use it in this. Instead, you're actually using it for this and that they would have told you in Nigeria, that kind of
Yeah,
thing. So in
yeah.
Nigeria, there's
Mhm.
just not enough there's just not enough, maybe I don't know, enough infrastructures
For students,
for
stuff.
students to do things practically.
Yeah.
Even in like the very best schools, not all, I would say maybe for, because I did data analytics, and
Okay.
for people who studied computer science, for instance, in
Yeah.
Nigeria, they don't have that experience, they won't
Mm.
have the same experience as doing it here, because they would not they I heard of some people who had to write down codes. They had to write codes on paper. Yeah, they would tell me that, for their exams they will write codes on paper instead of actually doing it on a
You
system and everything.
understand.
So it's different in that sense, that it's more practical here than there.
Yeah.
And then for a master's degree, like, I mean, here they've just pushed you to for a master's degree, they push you to do something in a way that you cannot you cannot not know the foundation of that course. They give you
Okay.
projects that would bend and break and mold you to a master of that course, because right now, like, I can explain very foundational things in data analytics because had to do the very, very complicated things. And for you to do a very complicated project, you have to know the basics. You have to be able to understand it. And for you to
Yeah.
write an actual report on doing it, because in data analytics, we have to write codes and everything, and we still have
Yeah.
to write a report about it. So there's no way you will not understand it if you don't do it yourself. If you do it yourself, sorry, if you do it yourself, there's no way you won't understand the basics. So that's what I appreciate about studying here.
So I'm glad to hear that, I'm glad to. So, and and that's a very good thing for in terms of studying, education, or in terms
Mm-hmm.
of knowledge wise, when you get hands on things, the practical aspect, it helps a lot.
Yeah.
The knowledge you get from practical is different from what you get from theory.
Yeah.
So, which is very, very good to hear that. And, for the student visa, does it take time to come out when you put in? And does it allow you to work as well?
All right. So for the student visa, I think it really depends on your travel history. It depends on your
Okay.
travel history. If you have a good travel background,
Yeah.
your visa is likely to come out earlier than someone who
Oh,
is traveling out of Nigeria for the first time.
sorry.
Honestly speaking, and from experience, I've seen it happen. Because me, my visa actually came out in about 3 weeks. My visa
Oh,
came out in about 3 weeks, while for some people, like, it would come out in 2 months,
wow.
6 weeks, 8 weeks. So I was just, I don't know, I was just blessed because I actually applied November,
Mm,
either November 30th or 1st of December, and I got my parcel, I got my passport and everything back on the 24th of December. I cannot forget. So, like,
okay.
it was very unexpected,
Wow, that's
but
great. Yeah,
I began to realize that, okay, if you have a good background of traveling and everything, and
that
they'll
helps.
just it will be easier for them to just approve it than for maybe someone who does not have any history, traveling or doing education outside Nigeria. Then what was the other question?
And does the visa allow, student to work?
Okay, yes. So students are allowed to work 20 hours per week.
Oh,
Yes,
oh,
students are allowed to work 20 hours a week.
oh,
And during summer, they're allowed to work 40 hours as well. So
oh,
during summer they're allowed to work 40 hours, and then between 16th of December to mid January, they're also allowed to work 40 hours as well because of the break there.
holidays, yeah,
Yes, but outside these periods,
yeah,
they are only allowed to work 20 hours a week. Because people survived on their jobs here.
yeah.
People who, yeah, I know my classmates, like a few colleagues of mine, had to work to put food on their table.
Anyway, so that's just so now as a graduate. So how do you find the workforce in terms of, seeking employment? Do you find getting a job so easier, on point straight away after graduate, or do you have to search and search before you get it?
Mm. So first of all, I would say it depends on the course you're coming to do.
Okay.
That's why before you come to any country, before you go to any country to study, you need to check their market, you need to check what they're good at, you need to check what they really need, in that country, and if what you're going to study will satisfy that need, or whatever. So um so if you're coming to Ireland, I would advise, they're different. They're very, I'm sure I don't know everything.
Yeah.
I'm sure I don't know everything, but there are some sectors that you should avoid, and there are some sectors you should actually go for, like the IT sector now. Like, you should, it would be nice to um do something in the IT sector or in
Mm,
finance, because I know like they're big on finance here, or
mm,
even in the health
yeah,
sector as well.
mm,
There's another one that's coming up now, geographical information systems. That's a very good course. If anyone has maybe studied architecture or something um related to that, they can explore that option, because there are very few in this country now. Me, I studied data analytics, and we're so many in this country. Like, we are too much. So it's a bit
really?
difficult to get a job now, because we're plenty in this country. Meanwhile, outside this country, we're going to be so sought out for, in
Mm,
other countries where we're not so many, even
yeah.
in Nigeria, honestly. How many people in Nigeria have a master's degree in data analytics? They are looking for us actually in Nigeria, I'm very sure. It's just that I mean, there are some
Yeah.
situations in Nigeria that you just don't want to go back to, you
Mm,
know, but people do get jobs. Like, there are jobs, there are many jobs out there. There are many jobs in Ireland. There are many job opportunities in
yeah.
Ireland. I would say, for in order to get a job and everything,
Yeah.
just follow your careers department in your school. I think every school will have a careers team.
Mm, mm,
um, just follow your career advisors, and do your CV well, do your LinkedIn, connect with people, because I know people, like, I know I the job I'm currently doing was through a referral, so just connect with people when you get to Ireland. Connect with people, do your LinkedIn, update your LinkedIn profile, update your CV every now and then. Just develop networking skills, and you get a job. And also do understand what you're doing in school. Do
so,
well, understand what you're doing in
mm,
school, and try to maybe open up a blog about what you're doing in school that you could put on your CV, and
yeah.
just so many things. You will definitely get a job.
Yeah.
So yeah, so basically, to wrap it up, there are job opportunities in Ireland, for sure. There are.
Okay. Okay. Oh, that's fine. So before I move on to the next question, I'd like to ask. So how do you find Ireland in general? How do you find it? in general?
How do I find Ireland in general? It's a small country,
Mm,
um, with 4 seasons, but the winter is it's a country, it's an island as well,
yeah,
so it rains a lot here, and I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe that's what affects the winter. You hardly see snow in Ireland. Like you hardly see snow,
I
and there's this aura that a snowy day just brings. When it's not bad though, like night snow.
yeah,
Yeah. So I really miss seeing I really miss like real winter. Yeah, but yeah, I mean Ireland is all right. Um I don't
no,
know what to say about this country. Ireland is okay.
I,
Ireland is okay. It's a bit expensive though living here as well. I must say it can be a bit expensive living here. Accommodation and all that. It has its downsides, but it's a very nice country with a lot of potential. And I tell you the truth, like when I came here in 2016, there were some things that were not there that are here now. So Ireland is evolving every day, and Ireland now the only English speaking country in the European Union, at least since the UK has left. So Ireland has a lot of potential. I mean, I would definitely recommend it to someone. Just come here. You could start up. You might not need to stay here forever or anything, but it's a nice place to begin life and to just try new things because there's lots of opportunities here. I like how they empower entrepreneurs as well. There's so many labs and so many events they organize for people to just think and come up with ideas, you know.
mm,
So I think it's a really good country. It's a techie company as well, country as well, and that's one of the things that attracted me to this place as well, and made me feel like okay, definitely if I come here, you know,
yeah,
I, I should be able to get something going. So yeah.
oh, yeah. So good to hear that. I really, really appreciate. So just to round it off, because most of the question have intertwined each other.
Okay.
So just for people looking to come to Ireland, maybe for study, you
Mhm.
know, for a new life.
Mhm.
So what advice would you like to give to them? I know some of your in your conversation, some advice has already come out pointed. So
Yeah.
just advice that okay, this is it if you're coming to just give them a
Hmm. Wow. If you're coming to Ireland, I would say, hmm, if you're coming to Ireland, first of all, why are you coming? You need to know why you're coming there. I believe I'm just going to restrict myself to the study aspect. So if you're coming to study in Ireland, you need
mm,
to just figure out which parts of the Irish market is needed right now, like which part of the Irish market is evolving, because once you come here and they see that you're something they need, they're
yeah,
going to pick you instead of somebody else. So you're better off doing something that not everybody else is doing.
okay,
You're better off doing something very unique that not everyone else is doing. So I would advise you strategically pick a good course, and not something that is too hard for you, not something that you don't think you can cope or you will not be happy doing, something you'll be happy doing, but just make it look for a way that you can look for a unique course, that would definitely be a need here, because nobody would want to hire someone they don't need actually. And then at the same time, even if they need you, if there's so many of you, it's going to be hard for them to pick you,
yeah,
all the time. So I would say that, so if you're coming to Ireland, strategically pick a course, you know and then secondly, just be focused, be very focused on your goals, just know what you want. For me, when I first came here, like I knew what I wanted. I knew that I wanted it doesn't even have to be that serious. I knew I wanted a single room, I knew I just wanted to live in a single room and not live um, with people in the same room,
Yeah.
basically. That
Yeah.
was just my standard. So even when people came to me with different options, I was like, oh no, this is not what I want, this is what I prefer, and I stuck to it. So so it really depends on, your, yeah. Then another thing as well is also make friends, um talk to people before you get to Ireland. If you have a school, a group in your school, or if your school admissions team organizes anything, join these things, make friends, talk to people before you get here, because that's what actually helped me. I talked to so many people before I got here, and when I got here, it was like I knew them before I even
God.
came. Yeah, yeah. So like when I saw them, I was like, oh, so it's you. I'm like, oh, so it's you. It's always nice to socialize so that you won't be alone and you won't feel alone as well. And then if possible, I mean, you could actually get a roommate or get someone that you can live with when you first arrive, it
Mm,
also helps, because this place can get quite lonely if you live alone.
mm,
So uh, yeah. So basically, strategically pick a course. If you're coming to do a master's degree or a postgraduate diploma here, strategically pick a good course. Second thing is to just know your goals, know your standards, stick by them. Because when you come, you're gonna see a lot of things. You're gonna see a lot of people, a lot of
yeah.
ideologies that you're not um y- that you that you don't agree with, you know
Yeah.
stick to your standards, stick to your values, your core values. Just know who you are, because you can come here and you could just go
Very good.
haywire, and you're
Mm,
you'll just be lost. You'll
mm,
be lost and you'll be driven by people. You will not be able to stand on your own. So just
mm,
that standard thing is very
yeah.
important. Know your standards, know your values, know your core values, know who you
Very
are,
good.
and no one can influence you to do anything
Exactly.
that you naturally wouldn't do. Yeah, and
Yeah.
then what was the last thing I said?
Mm,
Socialize, like networking is very important. That's how many people got their jobs here, networking. So it's not only in Nigeria that connection is working,
mm,
that everybody's always
mm,
saying in Nigeria is only connections, also here, everywhere. Just think about it this way. if I know if I own a company and I have a friend who knows someone that can do the job very well, I would definitely pick my friend's referral
yeah. Refer.
above just a random person that I don't even know, you know. So
Mm,
that's the idea of networking. There's no rocket science to it. It's not cheating or anything. It's
mm,
just I trust you that this person would do a better job. I'd rather pick this person. So network with people, talk to different kinds of people, not just maybe people in the same nationality, people of the same nationality. If you're
yeah.
Nigerian, don't just mingle with Nigerians alone. If you're
Exactly.
Indian, not just Indians alone. Try to talk to people of different races,
Yeah.
So those are the three things I would just leave people with.
Mm. Thank
Mhm.
you so much, Miss Surfemi, for this wonderful chat and for your
Thank you for the opportunity.
no, this is so helpful, and I
Hmm.
hope this will be help people out there, sticking
Hmm.
for some questions. This
Yeah,
has a lot of questions, so I
yeah.
really appreciate your support and for choosing to come to Yeti Prize TV, to offer your support and friends. And I so
Hmm.
much appreciate you. And say hello to my friends and to my YouTubers for me before you go.
Oh my God. Hi everyone. It's nice to meet you guys. If you're watching this video, I'm very sure it's because you need the information here. I just hope I wish you all the best. I wish you
Yeah.
all the best with your studies and with everything you've set to accomplish in life, and I pray that God will lead you to the right path. It's very important to just tell God to lead you no
Yeah.
matter what. I know everybody wants to study abroad. I know everybody
Yeah.
wants to live Nigeria and go and study somewhere else. I understand that, but most importantly, let God lead you. Tell Him, Lord, I just want you to go with me. This is where I want to go. Please help me, and He's going to lead you every step of the way. So thank you so much for tuning in to Yeti Price TV.
Thank
And please
you.
subscribe to her channel
Thank you.
because she has so much
Yeah.
to offer. So thank
Yeah.
you so much for
Yeah, thank you so much for coming and thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys find it useful. And if you do, don't forget to give your girl a thumbs up. And as my sister has already said, don't forget to click that red button and the notification bell so you can get notified anytime I bring you my video content on Monday and Saturday. And watch out for my chit chat live stream as well. See you in my next video. Bye. So,
bye.